Thank you all so much for joining us today. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Jennifer Torrance. I am the Youth Climate Advocacy Coordinator at Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the United States. We are so lucky to have with us the Lataste Group from Padua, Italy, and they are going to be talking all about the work that they do. This series is our Youth Spotlight series, where we give a platform to youth who are doing incredible work so that they can share it all with you and you can hear about the amazing things that other youth around the world are working on. And so this is going to be such a great example of that, and I am going to pass it over to them.
Okay. I'll start if you want, Francesco or Giovanni. Okay. I introduce myself. I'm Agnese, and I'm a master student of evolutionary biology. I'm going to graduate, I hope so, within December. And I am one of the first member of the Gruppo Lataste of the University of Padova.
Hi everyone, I'm Francesca. I'm a student of bachelor degree in natural and environmental sciences here in Padua. And I'm also gonna graduate not within December, but hopefully within March or July. And I'm also a member of the Gruppo Lataste, and I will pass on to Giovanni.
Yeah, I'm Giovanni. Hi, everyone. And I'm also a master student here in Padua for a master degree in evolutionary biology. And yeah, before I studied natural science, natural and environmental sciences here in Padua. Yeah, Agnese, I think you can go.
I can start. Okay. Gruppo Lataste is a group of, as you can read in this slide, is composed by students belonging to biology and natural science of both a bachelor and master degree. We were born 2 years ago. Actually, tomorrow will be our birthday, exactly tomorrow. Okay. Francesca, you can pass over the slides if you want. Okay. This is a brief presentation of the first member of Gruppo Lataste, because we started working and collaborate together 2 years ago with no idea of what we could become. We had great lucky, which is the great support of the university, in particular of many professors that accept with and enjoy our project. Okay. But why Lataste? That's a question that is done really frequently to us, because it's the name actually of the species Rana latastei, which is an endemic species of the Po regions, in particular spread. Its area is spread a lot here in northern and northeast Italy. It's actually, we choose it as a flagship species because it has been categorized as vulnerable by the UCN Italian Red List. So we want naming our group as Lataste to sensibilize also people to the problem and the issue that characterize this species. Our goal at the beginning, but still currently our goals are that we wanted to create firstly, a network of students into the natural sciences and biology sciences, because we thought that lack this kind of space in which students could collaborate and share their knowledge together, socialize, also enjoy some moments together. We wanted also to go more into to explore and more into the deep of some topic and themes that are that some professor or are touched in some during some lessons, but maybe sometimes there's no time to go more into the details. So we wanted to have the possibility to discover this type of topic, making some lectures, some field excursions. We had done many, as we will describe to you successfully, and we also want to spread knowledge that we gained during these years, and so like improving a sort of peer-to-peer education, if we want to call it in some way. Okay. Okay, we also wanted to connect some of the topic of the Climate Out Toolkit to our activities, or the activities that we normally propose to students, but also to citizens and everyone that want to join in. In particular, we want to start with water, which is one of the main topic that you touch, and we want to speak about. Maybe more than 1 year ago, we did an excursion in Cadimezzo wetlands. Wetlands, we probably all know that is an important habitat, transition habitat between land and water. This type of wetlands in particular, it's quite important because it's the first here in Veneto region, but also in Italy, that improve phytoremediation. Phytoremediation is a process, a really important process that improve water quality in particular. These wetlands can be considered semi-natural urban system because it is located and settled nearby cities and urban settlements. So improving water quality is, in this sense, is really important, not to just for ecosystem services and ecological effort, but also for us, we can say, for human needs. Phytoremediation is done by plants and macrophytes, in particular by reed swamp that constitute the so-called reed beds. Reed beds can make this kind of phytoremediation, and so absorb and assimilate some nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus, and by this way improve water qualities and decrease the risk of eutrophization, and so the death of this natural system. Okay, now I pass the floor to Francesca, that will talk to you of the other topics.
Yeah, to remain in our goal of discover more about natural environments, we actually organized various type of excursions in the field, because we thought as students that this was lacked in our university for reasons of finances or time. One of the excursions that we organized this past year was in the Montebaldo Natural Park, and it was organized specifically by Giovanni, which is here with us today. It was in collaboration with the Civic Museums of Rovereto, and we also were with some naturalist guides, some park rangers, who illustrated us on the topic of orchids. As we know, orchids, or as we don't know, here in Italy, there are several endangered species. So it's really nice to have the opportunity to go out in the field and see for ourselves in what kind of environment they live, which is very fragile because they need very large space of grass. So where there's trees, the orchids cannot survive. So this was a very important excursions. And we also organize excursions and field trips that not only last a day, but maybe last 2 days. In this case, we're looking at a field trip that was organized more than a year ago. It was a field trip of 2 days that was centered around biological and naturalistic activities in the Cansiglio forest, which is in the Veneto region. And we had the opportunity to learn more about mushrooms, lichens, plants, deers. We also went to a station on Pizzoc Mountain, which is very famous for the bird ringing station. And we also had the opportunity to talk about the geological history of the area. So as you see, we try to incorporate as much of the naturalistic world as we can. And we try to make participants know more about every type of field. What about spreading knowledge? So what about sensibilizing people and fellow students about various topics? We linked this particular goal with a macro area, which is talked about in the Climate Toolkit Youth Network, which is food service. We, as students, frequently use the canteens to go and eat during the lunch break. And some of the students, in particular, the ones who maybe follow and attend marine biology lessons, noticed that we were eating verdesca, which is the blue shark, also known as the blue shark, which is actually a vulnerable species identified by the IUCN Italian Center. So we tried and dedicated our time to raise awareness about the consumption of this species. And it's still a work in progress because we are trying to work with the institution, especially the ESU, which is the organ that is responsible for the food service and the canteens here in Padua. And it was also a collaboration with researchers and professors here in the University of Padua to try and reduce the consumption, or in the best case, eliminate at all the consumption of these species and find some alternative and sustainable choices. which can be, for example, bluefish, sea bass, etc. That are sustainable both financially and environmentally speaking. Although there was the first awareness raising activity, which was done by the very first nucleus of Lataste Group, was about the coriandoli, so the confetti. Here in Italy, it is very famous and very well known that when you graduate, you go out the building and you celebrate by shooting this confetti. But the problem is that this celebration is done in this particular place, which is Porta Portello, that is very famous here in Padua. And as you can see, below the street, the bridge, there is the Piovego Canal, which is actually very, very rich, environmentally speaking, is very rich of species of flora and fauna. So these confetti are actually being shot and eventually end up polluting the Piovego Canal. So we try to raise awareness about this and try to stop this from happening. I don't know if we made a difference, but we're still trying to be mindful about this. Now I will pass the floor to Giovanni.
Yeah, thank you. So still being in this kind of urban environment, so not the one from the field excursion that allows you to explore nature in all his beauty, we decided to organize several activities that also in these kind of really foggy cities like Padova allowed us to share knowledge. And we decided so to use this common behavior of university students that is going to the pub and drink all the afternoon to share knowledge, preparing several stands, as you can see, that they could be on plants, on birds, on even on comparative anatomy. That you know, they are our topic of interest. We study those things all the day. They are our passion, so we are pretty happy to share our knowledge with other people. And this so-called aperitivo naturalistico, which in English I think is like aperitif, and it's an activity that we organize every year that allows even people that study maybe engineering or other degrees that do not teach you naturalist topics to go have fun and learn something new that can help you in the life in your everyday life to know something new of what surrounds you, because even in this beautiful city, there is a bit of nature that you need to know because you are a better person. So. And but we organized also other activities like the so-called experimental design, which is an activity linked to with the purpose to fill the gaps in our university knowledge, because as you probably have experienced in your university degrees, the program, all the topics that you learn during your degree are not really focused, at least here in Padua, on the research world. They do not prepare you in solving problems in the everyday researcher life. And so we kind of organized this game, these interactive games, where we were all divided in groups, and it was assigned as a task with a research problems. I remember that it was like an environmental problem with I don't know if Francesca Agnese remembers well, but it was like a ecotoxicology problem with fishes that couldn't behave as they had to do, and even plants that were affected by this problem. And we had to organize all the like material and methods part of a scientific publication, and build a project, a study project that was then evaluated by several of our professors that gently formed a jury that judged us, and yeah, they decided which study was the best built, and at least for the funds that we think we can afford, the most suitable for the problem. It was really interesting for that. And we have also a work in progress project in collaboration with the Botanical Garden of Padova, and with the guidance of our professor, Francesco Dal Grande, which is our systematic plants professor, that helped us a lot in all the process of building this group during the years. And yeah, this project aims to build some flower beds outside, for now, outside the biology department. And these flower beds are composed of local species, with the aim to increase the local biodiversity, not only of plants, but also of all the impollinators, the insects impollinators of these plants, and but not limiting ourselves to the biodiversity part of the work, because we also decided to add informative panels to inform. They are outside the biology department, so mainly the students in natural science, biology, and all related degrees, of what we are doing and what they see, and why they should not destroy these flower beds, because they are pretty important. And yeah, this is a sort of citizen science also project that we are doing, and but it's still a work in progress. Next week we should start to plant all these flower beds. So we think also about future activities that we can do, also in collaboration with several of you that are listening, hopefully. And yeah, so we try to do a little of brainstorming, and let me see what we have think. So maybe we can this is a project idea to maybe construct nature and biodiversity gardens for pollinators and plants, as we seen before, that we are doing here in Padova, and in other university campus, maybe in other part of the world. And I think that maybe with a work of assessing the local biodiversity that around the world obviously changes, and is present in the university campus, that maybe in the city are some of the parts with the most biodiversity due to gardens that are present there. And I don't know, maybe using the iNaturalist app that allows you to identify and to assess the position and the time that you are observing that species. create a kind of a map of the world with the biodiversity in all the university campus. That's a cool thing, and trying to build there these biodiversity spots, biodiversity gardens to try to increase it. That could be a nice idea, I think.
I don't know if Agnese wants to continue.
Okay. We also thought that we can create connection between students all over the world, thinking in big, we can say, and students between cities all over the countries, making, for example, some global week BioBlitz. BioBlitz, it's a kind of event that in which people's like count and explore, we can say, the surround environment that can be a natural place, but also urban environment. And we can say count of both flora and fauna species. Global Week BioBlitz can connect people all across continents, and sharing it on social could be a great opportunity to create environmental connection. But this kind of activity could be also more productive and maybe interesting if done physically, we can say, and not just share on social. And maybe a great idea could be also organizing such student exchanges on this topic. Maybe, for example, Italian students go in the US, and US coming to Italy. It would be a great opportunity for all people and students that participate to this kind of event.
So another thing we thought about was that it's actually maybe more suitable. It's about social and sensibilization campaigns. This kind of work and project could be done wherever we are and can connect us through the magical power of internet. So maybe we thought that we could work together to create reels on Instagram, interviews, collaboration posts, maybe a podcast even, where we could invite guests to talk about various topics, and to go even deeper in the fields that we actually care about as biology and natural science students. And this way will be faster and easier to reach people also outside of our university bubbles, because we are privileged to be here and to have the opportunity to learn every day. But it would be very, very nice to also educate and share our interest and knowledge with the rest of society, the common citizens, and the rest of the population, to raise awareness about urgent issues, because we all know that the climate crisis is not going to wait for us. So as students and professors and researchers, we can actually make a difference, and the social networks can be a very helpful way in doing it. We also thought about merging art and nature because the creative arts are kind of dismissed, but we think that worldwide competitions maybe in natural drawings or photography, which is very, very kind of famous among students. Photography is very mesmerizing and can bring you into the actually natural ecosystems without actually being there. So it's very cool. Or maybe graffiti, we don't know. It can sound a bit crazy, but we are dreamers, and I don't know. We are still like practical university students, but we like to think big and dream even bigger. So how to stay updated on these kind of projects, how to make collaborations start. You can follow us on Instagram. We have an Instagram page, as you can see here. We also have a WhatsApp community that we are trying to make more international. And we also have the very old kind of way, which is emails. So yeah, you can find us in every of these channels.
Yeah, and if I can add, inside this WhatsApp community, we have several subgroups, some thematic groups, one for plants, one for animals, where we can share studies that we find, or maybe, I don't know, if you are walking on the street and you find a lizard, do you want an identification? You can send it on this group and wait that one of us that knows how to identify it suggest his identification. But yeah, for now it's a pretty Italian groups, Italian language groups, but we are trying to switch to English slowly, but in the long term, we are trying it.
Yeah, and also, oh, sorry, I went back. These slides were so good that I have to show them one last time. So thank you all for the attention. We are very thankful and grateful to be here, and I hope we were at least a bit interesting.
Definitely. Thank you so much for presenting. I'm curious if anyone in the audience has any questions. People seem to really enjoy your presentation. I have one question, which is you mentioned so many plans of different things that you're thinking of doing in the future. I would love to know which one you each are most excited about.
For me, I think personally, the one I presented for the biodiversity hotspot and the knowledge of the university campus, but yeah, extendable on all the city. For me, I think it's the one I like the most.
Well, for me, Agnes is not speaking. For me, I think I'm very enthusiastic about the idea of exchanges. I'm always like a very extrovert person, so I like very much to meet new people and talk to them and have conversation about these kind of interests, because I know that the natural sciences and all the work about raising awareness about the climate crisis and how fragile these ecosystems are but at the same time, how strong nature is and how she can recover with a bit of our help and our knowledge. I think it's very exciting. So I will really try and look forward to travel a bit and know more about even more parts of the world and the natural world.
For me, maybe it's banal, but starting seeing this kind of interaction with internationally speaking, it's really it's wonderful because we started like a little seed that it's growing very well. So I want to thank you all for also your time. And I think that the thing that it's more enthusiastic for me, it's also it's the fact that we are creating connection, also because here in Italy we have a type of ecosystem that probably it's similar in many parts of US, for example, but I think that there are also different kind of ecosystems as well, and environment and forest and species. So by this way, it can be really a way for us to for people to enrich our knowledge as a naturalist and biology, but also as human, as people. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I loved hearing all of your different answers. It really shows how passionate you are about this work. Olivia in the chat asked, how do you go about organizing the excursions and what does that process look like?
It's I can answer if you want. Francesca or Giovanni want to add something? Okay,
I will add
maybe.
later if you
Okay.
don't say what I want to say.
Okay. Okay, well, we don't have a hierarchy here in our group. It's all quite free, but we it's necessary to do meetings, both physically or Zoom meetings. We democratically listen to all the proposals that students, that our members, we're 20 students that actually are into the Gruppo Lataste, and we create a sort of a calendar for example, 2026. So we are creating our and stealing our calendars to understand, for example, if some excursion have to be done in spring, summer, autumn, also basing on academic years and activities. So not to overlaps other excursion predicted by the university and by courses. But yeah, we listen to all the proposals and try to understand if it is economically speaking affordable. But also in this way, we won sort of it's not actually a competition, but I can't find the right word.
A scholarship.
A scholarship. Thank
by
you.
the university. Yeah.
A sort of grant, a scholarship. Thank you, Francesca. And we want some money that we used to organize lots of excursion. Best and better excursion that the one that we made at the beginning, actually. But yeah, that's the process.
Yeah, and it's a pretty interesting process because we have the opportunity to organize activities and excursions that the university in our degree does not organize, so we can do all this job for ourselves. And we can contact maybe researchers that work every day on the natural world that surround Padua and the northern Italy. For example, in the orchids excursion that I organized, I contacted this museum that is one of the most important center for the floristic specimens of the vascular plants on the Alps. So they were able to send us researchers that every day work on that topic and can share to us their knowledge. And we are lucky, but also we are a good worker because we for last year and hopefully also this year won this fund of money from the university that allows us to organize these excursions and all the activities that we organize every year.
Yeah, I will also add a short thing about we are students, we are not an association, we are a group. So we are free to participate, free to not participate. And all these activities, all these excursions were born by our very own interests. So for example, I'm very passionate about the fungi and botanic world. So I proposed to the group we could do these activities, both seminary and out in the field, and they were approved democratically. And I went on to find the experts, professors, etc., and organize with them. And we have lots of people with lots of different interests, from marine biology to geology to the words of mammals and so on. So we try and be very diverse and yeah.
That's amazing. It's great to have not only the support of your university to help with the funding of these excursions, but also then the agency to choose things that matter most to you and that really represent your interests and the interests of the others in your group. I think that's really incredible. So thank you for answering that question. And I just want to say a huge thank you to the Gruppo Lataste for taking the time to speak with us today. I think I can speak for everyone that the work you're doing is incredibly inspirational. The wide range of ways that you engage people in different activities and events to connect them with the natural world just shows how dedicated you are. And it was so great to hear about your different initiatives and how they spanned from everything from food to water to social gatherings to the flower bed biodiversity. And I'm really excited personally about your global BioBlitz plans. Please include me, please include all of the youth in our network. I think that would be amazing. You have so many great plans, and I'm excited to see what you do next. You clearly have such a huge impact on your community, and I know that you are going to continue to do great work. So thank you again for speaking. I'm sure you've inspired many people today by sharing all of the incredible things that you do and your knowledge and your expertise. I also want to say a huge thank you to everyone who joined us today. The Youth Spotlight series is part of the Climate Toolkit's Youth Network. So in the Climate Toolkit, we aim to bring together cultural institutions such as museums, gardens, and zoos. And the Youth Network connects youth that participate in programs within those institutions. If you're interested in learning more, you can visit our websites, climatetoolkit.org, and you can visit the Climate Toolkit Youth Network as well. And we will drop those in the chat. But thank you so much for coming, and thank you again to the Gruppo Lataste. We are so happy to have had you here. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and thank you again.